Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello to all of my friends and to the honorable lecturers Sarvali Ardiansyah. Today, I'm Vani Anastasia from 5PD class would like to do a presentation about data analysis. So, let's get started. Table of contents. So there are the contents that I would like to talk about in this data analysis topic. First is definition, second is the importance of data analysis, third types of data analysis, and fourth examples. Next. First, definition. Let's get started with the definition first. What is data analysis? Data analysis is defined as the process of cleaning, transforming, and modeling data to discover useful information for business decision making. So in simple words, data analysis is the process of collecting and organizing data in order to draw helpful conclusions from it. In a research, why do we need data analysis? So in a research, data analysis is very important as it provides an explanation of various concepts, theories, frameworks, and methods used. So analysis is the process of breaking a complex topic or substance into smaller parts in order to gain a better understanding of it. So those are the functions of the data analysis in a research. Next, types of data analysis. So there are two types of data analysis divided into two. First is quantitative and second is qualitative. Quantitative is the data that is numerical, can be counted, measured, expressed using numbers, and compared on a scale. Meanwhile, for the qualitative is the descriptive and conceptual. So quantitative more about numerical. The data is a bit more to numerical, meanwhile for the qualitative seems like a more written. Next, examples of quantitative and qualitative data analysis. For the quantitative analysis, quantity can be used to ask the question how much or how many. Of course, as the quantitative is focused more on the numerical, so this question that can be asked about the number, how much or how many. This type of data is measured using numbers and values, which makes it a more suitable candidate for data analysis. So these are the example of how to quantitative analysis. First is demographic data, second test, third experiment, fourth surveys, fifth market reports, and the last one metrics. So those are the example of demographic data. For demographic data, there are measures of central tendency that are mean, median, and range. And second is frequency distributions, and third percentage distribution. So let's see the example of those types of those ways. First is frequency. Frequency more focused on showing the numbers of each department. Like for the advisor 1 academic, there are 20 and to 25 students. And the frequency for advisor 2, there are 20 and 25 students. Next, there are the example of percentage. We can see the percentage of each functions in here. Next, it's still is the percent. And this is the example of graphic frequency data that we can use this diagram. Next, histogram. We can use this table like this in data analysis for the quantitative. Next, okay, those are the examples of the quantitative analysis data. Now we continue to qualitative analysis. Qualitative data can be used to ask the question why. Meanwhile, the quantitative asks the number, how much, how many, and qualitative we ask the why. Why? Because qualitative used for theorizations, interpretations, developing hypotheses, and initial understanding. So that's why we need to ask why. Because it's more about focus on theoretical. Those are ways of used qualitative analysis. First is text and document. Second, audio and video recordings. Third, image, symbols, and photograph. Fourth, interview transcript and focus groups. And last one, observation and notes. So these are that included an interview. So before we start the interview, we need to prepare this. First is interview transcript, that how the interview going to. Second, case notes or clinical notes, and the third one is open-ended survey questions. Now let's see the example of qualitative analysis data. So in here there is interview. In interview we need to prepare paper and pencil tally, word processing table, spreadsheet, and last one, custom database. Okay guys, I think that's all for the presentation today. I hope you enjoy and thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.